Well, it's Uncommon Fossil. We're taking a look at an Arceus Giratina VSTAR deck. One of the things why I like this list is it includes a Relicanth with the Memory Dive ability. Each of your evolved Pokemon can use attacks from its previous evolutions. You still need the necessary energy to use that attack, and that does have value with both of these Pokemon. So first, Arceus VSTAR. That's the key to any Arceus deck, basically. Starbirth ability, super awesome. Search your deck for any 2 cards once over the course of the game. And then Trinity Nova, 200 damage or 180 when you have a double turbo attached, which is always at least your first attack, right? But it's still okay. You're 2-shotting multi-prize Pokemon for the most part, and still 1-shotting single-prize Pokemon for the most part, right? So between 180 200, it matters, but most of the time, it's not critical. But the really great part is you accelerate 3 basic energies from your deck to your V Pokemon any way you like, power up an Arceus, or in this case, it's really crucial to powering up the Giratina VSTAR. I did mention, like, Relicanth does have value here, because sometimes we need to, if we don't get energy attached our first turn, but we need to use Starbirth to set up, then if we get Relicanth down, we can Trinity Charge, to get some energy set acceleration. Now, that's not a great start to the game because it's our turn 2. We haven't done any damage yet, but at least we're setting up at that point. So Relicanth does have some value to Arceus, but I think it has more value on the Giratina VSTAR, which we'll take a look at. So Giratina VSTAR, it's the big hitter in the deck. Lost Impact does 280 for Grass, Psychic, Colorless. You put 2 energies in the Lost Zone. That's not ideal, but you can pay for that with 1 double turbo, so that is good, right? I do like that. We could just pay for it with 1 double turbo. Or if your Giratina VSTAR is going to get knocked out, get energy off the Giratina VSTAR. Don't attach the double turbo to the Giratina VSTAR because it does generally, because you do 20 less damage if you're going to discard that. If you don't need it for the attack, to pay the attack cost, that is, right? Attach it to a bench Pokemon and discard it from there. It doesn't have to be attached to the Giratina VSTAR. We're not using the VSTAR power because we're using Arceus's, and we're not going to get 10 cards in the Lost Zone. So don't worry about that. But the Relicanth, I think, is even better on the Giratina VSTAR because we can copy the Shred attack. You can copy Abyss Seeking as well. I mean, that's like, that's an emergency in case of emergency break glass type scenario. You don't want to do that. You discard, look at the top 4 cards, you deck 2 in your hand, 2 in the Lost Zone. That's if you're just dead drawing. At least it gives you some hope. But the Shred attack has value in 2 ways. First off, it's the same energy cost as the VSTAR, so you don't have to worry. So it powers up the same. It does 160, and that can one-shot a lot of basics. And I mean, single prize Pokemon, right? But you don't discard energy when you do it, so that's got an advantage. And then also, it's a Shred attack, and it hits through effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So it hits through Mimikyu is one of the big things, right? We don't have to worry about Mimikyu. Otherwise, Mimikyu is a big problem for this deck. So, like having that option of the Shred attack, you can always attack with the basic V without evolving, but now we can evolve to the VSTAR with Relicanth in play, have that higher HP, and the option of the big damage versus the Shred attack on the VSTAR when we want to. So really like it there. What else do we play in the deck? We play 1 Radiant Gardevoir to reduce damage by 20 to from your opponent's Pokemon V. As I've been playing the deck, I don't know if there's enough value out of that or not, but the decks generally play it, so I'm including it. And it certainly helps in the mirror. The Giratina VSTAR then can't one-shot your Arceus or your VSTAR, right? That's, I think, a lot of why it's there. And then plays a copy of Iron Leaves EX. This is super, super good when you play it from your hand. You can, to your bench, so don't use Nest Ball. You can switch it to your active spot, so that's good. And you move any amount of energy you want from your other Pokemon to this, so you power it up that 1 turn. You need Grass Colorless, does 180 damage, so one-shots Charizard EX with weakness. That's super important. It can't attack the next turn, but if you're usually against Charizard EX, and then, you've taken 2 prizes, so Charizard, they had set up another Charizard EX, they're just knocking you out anyway, so that part doesn't really matter. And then for an engine, we're playing a 2/2 Bibarel and 1 Skwovet. So, a good set of Pokemon there for sure. 4 double turbo energies, getting the energies. It's Arceus VSTAR, so always played 4 double turbo, basically 1 gen energy to get a little switching, and then 6 grass and 4 psychic energies. You probably could cut 1 grass energy, although I like having it because you're discarding some energies along the way setting up. And we don't have any energy recovery, right? I would say if I cut the grass energy, maybe I put a rod back in the deck just to kind of help with things. But we're also lost zoning energies along the way, and those we can't recover. So I like having the 6-4 split. You could go with a 5-4 split instead. I will jump to, I'm not playing any stadiums. You could play Lost City. Sometimes that has value, but I think most of the time I'm not worried about my opponent's Pokemon. I can handle whatever they're sending up. So I don't think Lost City is what the deck needs. A lot of people play it though, so I mean they play it for good reason. So you just consider that. The other card stadium that sees play is Pokemon League Headquarters. That increases the attack cost of basics by 1. There's a lot of basic decks around. I can see the value in that more so. But again, I think this deck just handles things pretty well. It would help against the Ancient Box deck, right? Because Ancient Box has a tough time one-shotting. And if they have, and they're going to miss probably even some attacks with Pokemon League Headquarters in play. And the tough part about that deck is it's hard to one-shot them turn after turn too. It's a single prize deck, so it puts a lot of pressure on us. So if you're worried about like Ancient Box decks or future decks too, then that would have value. All right, jumping right into the supporters first. Playing 4 Boss's Orders. Boss's Orders heavy deck. I know some people think 4 is just kind of crazy. I really like it. It just sets up the win condition at the end of the game a lot. So 4, you could cut it to 3. I wouldn't go less than 3, and I like having the 4th. It's just super, super nice. 2 Arven. This is what I put in place of the stadium. Initially, I had Pokemon League Headquarters. I cut that for 2 Arven. I think the Arven just gives me more consistency. I think it helps me win more games than either of the stadiums would. That's my thought, but do what you think on that. 4 Iono in the deck, just good early, good late. 1 Turo Scenario can be very useful. 2 Judge, just cause a little disruption, see some fresh cards. And 1 Professor's Research, only 1. The idea is we're only going to play at the turn we need it. We probably are going to grab it off our Arceus V-Star power. We're not looking to, partly because we're energy and the lost zoning energy and stuff. I don't want to chuck away too many energies over the course of the game. So that's kind of my thought there. Right? Our stadiums, 2 stadiums, Maximum Belt does help. Lets our Giratina V-Star one-shot a Charizard EX as well, which is very important. And then Choice Belt helps us to one-shot other Vs or VMAXs or V-Stars. Although, look, I haven't seen a VMAX in a while, I gotta say. But they're in format. So who knows? Maybe you'll see one. All right, getting into the item cards. 1 Switch card, 4 Ultra Balls. 1 Lost Vacuum has value sometimes, right? Most games you don't need it, so I guess you could cut it. It seems a little risky to cut it, is what I'd say, but you certainly could. And then 4 Nest Balls, right? So it's a 4 Nest Ball, 4 Ultra Ball. That's the way you set up with these Arceus V-Star decks, right? That's pretty much the given there. And yeah, just a very good, solid deck list, a little fun with the Relicanth. And let's just take a look at the deck in action. All right, see how things go here. Last game was a rough matchup, and a matchup where, in one sense, the Lost City would have been useful, although, quite frankly, it wouldn't have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. It was a Lost Zone with the Hoopa EX and Ringmoon EX. All right, I get to go first. That's good. Last time, I believe I went second, and I didn't get the setup. When you go second, you kind of need to get lucky. That's one very bad thing with the Arceus deck. So I will put the Arceus in the active. I could actually put it on the bench in Jet Energy, but probably, okay, my opponent had to start Charizard, so I'm liking that a lot. Drop down the Giratina, that's good. Attach a Grass Energy here. And end turn. It's not bad. I have Research, so, I'm sad to discard all these energies, but that's okay. I should be all right. Just have to be careful, right? 6, 4, 8. I play a good amount of energy, so that should be fine. Obviously, I need to hit the double turbo next turn. Now I take out the Charizard. So the thing is, if I take out the Radiant Charizard, obviously Charizard EX does more damage the following turn. So that's always a careful, it's always an awkward thing. Taking prizes against Charizard EX decks can feel bad. So I'm guessing they're gonna Iono me, which is okay because I was playing on Research and I didn't have any playable cards. So actually Iono, I would like that, but we'll see what they do. But I am rooting for an Iono. Rooting for an Iono here. Looking through their deck. Yep, Iono. So super nice there for me because I'll see all the cards. Basically, I'll see just about all the cards I would off the Research without having to toss away those energies and such. Okay, well this is tremendous here. This is great, and I have Boss. So this is awesome. So I think I take out Wow. Well, this is just insane here, actually. Do I want to... I think I saved my V-Star actual V-Star power as well, right? So I think I want a boss. Take out the Pidgey this turn. Just keep him from getting going there. Yeah, I don't want to take the 2 prizes. That wouldn't be good. I'll evolve to the V-Star, I guess. I have Iono for the following turn, I'm thinking. I have Iron Leaves in deck, so that's really good as well. Let's see the energy situation. Okay, so that's all good. I'll save the V-Star power. They shouldn't be able to knock out my my V-Stars. I'll just take out the Pidgey here. They won't like that. I still save Starbirth, so I can have a nice setup turn next turn. Get a bunch of energies, 2 grass and a psychic, and the 2 grass. You want the 2 grass because if they get a Charizard EX, I want to Iron Leaves next turn, and I have access to that because I have my V-Star power still. So okay, another Arceus, which I might want to drop down just because of the V-Star power as well. But I think taking out the Pidgey, I mean, certainly I made the play because I think it's the right play, and I do think it was the right play. We'll find out. Well, I think was it the right place? Not based upon the result, really. It's just based upon the read of the situation. What did they get there? So, okay, so it's looking to me like I'm going to one-shot this Charizard EX. And that's going to be really bad. Now, they can attack with Radiant Charizard the following turn. Oh, they didn't toss energy on the Radiant Charizard. Okay, missed energy, but that actually doesn't matter here. Wow. I mean, I don't know what they're going to do. We'll see what they do here. I don't know that it really matters. I think I just blow up the Charizard next turn, right? Iron Leaves hits them for weakness. And that's that, I think. Forest Seal Stone, very good for them. So setting up their bench, I'm surprised they didn't toss an energy onto the Radiant Charizard. Because if I knock them out this turn, which I'm planning on doing, they could then, they need 2 energies on the Radiant Charizard, right? So, okay. So see what happens here. So I guess I Iono, right? Because I don't need the boss. Do I want to bench another Arceus? Maybe I do. Do I want another Arceus? I think I do because I haven't used my V-Star power, and I'd like to protect him. I'm gonna need that V-Star power to win the game. Might need it this turn. So I need to. Well, let me just double check before I use my V-Star power. Just make sure. All right. Do not drop down, of course. There leaves with the Nest Ball, but get him in play. That's good. Use my V-Star power now. I will grab, what do I grab here? Grab Iron Leaves, and I guess let's see, I don't need a supporter for next turn, so I grab I'll drop okay. I'll do that. So I will drop Iron Leaves into play, send him up with 3 energies, which is quite nice there. Yes, I'll use Rapid Veneer. Take this grass here. Take grass. Psychic. Now, I can't attack. Now my, so he's one-shotting there. I'll drop this other V-Star, Giratina. Take the one-shot on the Charizard EX. I can't recover him. They'll blow him up, I assume. But I did one-shot one Charizard EX, which I think this gives me win. But we'll see what happens. If they don't knock me out, I can scoop them up. But I mean, they probably do. Look, they don't have Pidgeot EX though, right? I can Turo scenario the Iron Leaves out of play. I do need to get energy though. So that's also awkward, right? So we'll see what happens here. If I get a, if I have Relicanth, see now I'm kind of, we'll see what happens here. Okay, so they're going to take out my active. I will send up the Arceus because I think that's what I got to do here, right? If I draw an energy, I might just take a knockout directly this turn. I might boss something up, so, well, I don't know that I want to do that anyway. All right, so now they Forest Seal Stone, which they're going to use this turn. We'll see what they're grabbing. They're not accelerating any energy to any of their bench Pokemon, right? When they're using their Infernal Rain, they're not getting extra energy going, which I guess maybe they didn't have any that turn. I'm not sure. Okay. Surprised, though. Maybe they didn't. So obviously they would have liked to have gotten that energy going, in which case, so they take me out there. I need to see what I top deck, I guess. I need to get energy accelerate, so I have to attack with Arceus this turn, give up the 2 prizes. I got the grass energy, which means, so I now want to, so I want to attack here, and I want to gust up. I think I'll take out the Lumineon V, because then the Giratina takes anything out, right? That I'm confronted with. And yeah. And they don't have, they don't have access to the Pidgeot at all. 1, 2, and I will put 1 grass. I'll put this 1 psychic onto the other Arceus, right? So I really should not have dropped that other Giratina V. That was a mistake. But it gives me, I have energy for the Giratina VSTAR, and I have an energy on Arceus V, which means with a double turbo, he can attack as well. I wasn't able to get my Bibarel in play, so if I get Iono'd, I'm not in a good spot. So I'm vulnerable to that, but they have to take out the Giratina VSTAR. If they don't, they just lose the game, because I can attack. Well, I do 280. Actually, I don't have game, do I? Because I can't use Start Requiem. So I do 280. I mean, I send up the Giratina V and kind of think through what I do here, right? Probably, I don't know, I want to Iono myself. So getting Pidgey, which makes a lot of sense, right? I mean, if they have some single prizes I can take out, so they're going to, so they take him out, so that's not great. So now I might just lose the game. Now if I don't get boss, I just lose the game, right? But so I need to play the switch card, right? I have to like empty out my hand here is what needs to happen. Because I need boss. Okay, well I got boss, so I top deck boss, and I was, I wanted to, I retreated because I needed to do the switch, and now I just have game. So with that, so I had a decent chance because I was going to draw Bibarel that turn and just take him out, and that's game. So got the win. I mean, I got an early nice start. I got to go first. Things went well. Got one-shotted one Charizard EX with my Iron Leaves, and just kind of worked through the rest of the game. It's still tricky because once I've done that, taken 3 prizes, taking those prizes, my opponent is then one-shotting what I have with a Charizard EX, and I can't one-shot them back again. So it gets tricky, but this is also where I think why I'm very happy to have 4 boss in the deck, because that boss was critical at the end game to get the W. All right, let's see what happens here. Choosing heads would obviously love to go first, but if it's second, you work with what you get. All right, win the coin toss. So today seems like a day where I win the coin tosses and get to go first when I want to. It just seems like there's some days where it just keeps happening, and some days I just can't ever get what I want. Although I'm not getting an energy, so this is not good. First, but no access to energy is bad. Yeah, I mean, look, I might have to actually use the Relicanth this turn. my next turn, assuming he's not prized. I have Nest Ball, I have the Ultra Ball, so I have access to the V-Star, which means I can grab a double turbo. I can't attack with the V-Star with double turbo, but if I have Relicanth, I can copy the V's Trinity charge. So that right now looks like a real possibility. All right, playing Miraidon there. Got the V-Star, that's good. So I want to get something benched. That's what I want to do here. I think I want to get the Giratina V down. And the Relicanth is prized, so that, well, that's not good. So you know what? So I think I need to drop down an Arceus. I don't have Relicanth, so I need to drop down an Arceus. So I can evolve to one Arceus next turn and attack with the other. I'll just end turn here. I could have Ultra Balled for something like a Giratina V. But at this point, I'm not tipping my hand when I'm playing it. Obviously, I whiffed my energy. My Relicanth is prized on a start to the game where it would have been useful. But you know that is part of how the game goes too. So you know you take the good and the bad together, right? So just a regular lightning deck, which I do like. You know, it's all a basic attacking deck. Does very solid damage. Need to get the Giratina V-Star to be taking knockouts. Can they take the knockout this turn? If they take the knockout this turn, then I'm in big trouble, because then I actually can't do anything this turn. But look, what they're not going to take the way they're playing the game, they're not going to get the knockout. I mean, they're going to search their deck and accelerate and energy themselves, which is fine. But that's actually, you know, this is good actually, right? So I need to grab a double turbo. And do I want a supporter? I mean, I'm okay. Iono. So I want an Iono here. And do I want to attach? No, I don't attach the tool at this point. It doesn't help. I'm not going to need Iron Leaves. Do I want to? I'll just Iono here. See what I get. I have access to any 2 cards with my V-Star power, which I suspect I'm using. All right, not terrible though, right? So I got that. So I want to grab. I mean, I need a Giratina V. Do I want 2 Giratina Vs in play? How am I going to work this? I'm vulnerable this turn, I gotta say. I'm very vulnerable this turn. I have a Bibarel down, which I like that a lot. I'll just leave the tool. And I'll do that. Grab the V-Star. It's risky, but it could work out. So let's see what happens. I mean, this is what I have to do. This is really the only play I think I have. And yeah, there we go. I mean, I can, with the Iron Leaves, get a one-shot with the tool attached, but that's not a good thing, right? I mean, I don't want to attack with Iron Leaves because he's soft, a soft 2 prize Pokemon, and gets one-shot easily. The V-Stars are good in that they don't get one-shot. So, all right, it's shaping, it's coming together here. Coming together. We'll see if, you know, if they disrupt my hand, we'll see what happens. We both took setup turns. Their turn was surprising, I gotta say. I mean, they're doing this so they can one-shot me, right? So I've got the Raichu's scary because he can take out my Giratina V-Star, right? And that's what if my opponent takes out my Giratina V this turn, or my V-Star even next turn. All right, so what are they gonna grab? We'll find out. Do they play Prime Catcher? But I don't think so. Generator, which makes a ton of sense. At this point, of course, they can, my Giratina Vs, obviously, they can take him out with Miraidon and such. So, okay, Forest Seal Stone makes a ton of sense there. If they don't utilize it, you know, I do play one Lost Vacuum, so getting rid of that tool would be useful. Probably more useful than getting rid of the Bravery Charm on the Raichu, because at this point, the reason I get rid of him is to one-shot him with an Arceus V-Star, which could happen. Either if Arceus V-Star has all just no double turbo, or I could, with the double turbo, play the tool. So that would be a use for the Lost Vacuum, but otherwise I'd rather get that Forest Seal Stone off the Raikou before they use it. But they might use it too. So we'll see. I'm sure they're thinking that they whiffed their energy on the electric generator. Lost Vacuum? What? Why are they playing that? It's their tools. They're going to get rid of one of their tools? Right? I don't have anything in play. I guess they need to thin their hand for something? I'm not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, they want to switch the tool on the active, I guess? Maybe, to give themselves free retreat? I mean, that's kind of sketchy, too. Did they attach per turn, by the way? They did not. So they can attach per turn and attack with Miraidon. I mean, they have the knockout with the Raichu as well. Okay, using Forest Seal Stone. I am baffled by Bravery Charm, why they wanted to Lost Vacuum their own tool, which didn't seem like it was a bad tool to have. It was actually a tool I had thoughts. It crossed, I was a consideration. I was evaluating under what circumstances would I want to knock him out, in fact. So, another generator. Still not seeing why they got rid of that tool, though. That's the one thing. I'm looking for some clue as to what was there a reason for that, or did they think I had something in play, that I had a tool or a stadium that they wanted to get rid of, and then they realized after, they don't. I'm not certain. Anyway, they're going to knock me out. Okay, so the Iron Hands. Now they can't amp you very much. My Bibarel. I have to get them evolved, of course. So they're going to knock me out. I knock them out. Hopefully I hit a double turbo. Right? Because I don't want to... I mean, I could attach the Grass Energy, and then I could still potentially attack the following turn. But that gets tough. It's a risk, though. If I don't hit an energy, I can still attack. The problem is then I can't do anything at all the following turn. All right, got a double turbo, so that's super good. Who do I want to take out? Do I want to take out the active? I think I want Iono here, right? Do I want another Arceus in play? I think I don't. I mean, Arceus isn't terrible, but we'll see how this goes. All right, got Skwovet. Actually got Ultra Ball. So this is actually a very nice combo here as well. So I'll get rid of the two Ionos. Kind of not loving that, but I want to keep the energies. That's a given. So what do I have here for Pokemon? I have Arceus, and I have Giratina still. Okay, and energies. Okay, in a good spot here. So I'll Skwovet in the Bibarel, actually, because I don't want, these energies going in deck is actually a good thing for me. So I'll Skwovet first. No, don't drop down the Bidoof, because he could grab 2 prizes with the Iron Hands off him. I'll drop down the Giratina V, though, because I do like that. Ideally, I'd grab the Relicanth with this, too, I will say. That would be ideal, because I might need to use Arceus V's first attack, right? And I didn't play the V. So we'll see what happens. See what I draw. If I get knocked out, I'm okay. Not terrible. The Radiant Gardevoir could have some value in this matchup as well. They can't one-shot me. That's the good news. So how do I work this? Now the Relicanth gets one shot as well, so I don't think I want to bench the Relicanth either. At this point I have Skwovet Bibarel, and hopefully I get another double turbo, right? That's, what do I have, 2 double turbos down? Yeah, 2 double turbos. One was knocked out. Okay, so Mew EX. But they got to power him up, right? I mean, for the draw they can. I mean, his attack is good, though, I will say that. All right, so Beach Courts. So what are they going to do here? Okay. That's fine. I mean, they probably should have waited on the stadium. The question, like, if they don't hit on the electric generator, would they want to leave the Raikou there? In which case, they might want to save the beach court, right? Probably, you know, should have played the generator first just to see what happens, right? So they have an energy from... Okay, so they can do this. So they don't have the... Okay, they're drawing 3 cards, but they can't knock me out, period. I can one-shot. I can take them out. They'll finish me off the next turn. So actually, with the Giratina V-Star this next turn, I want to get rid of energy off of him, right? That's the basic plan there. If I think Radiant Gardevoir was useful, he would, he won't have value after this. I'm going to one-shot the Raikou V. So I think I don't attach. I mean, I could attach energy before I Skwovet Bibarel. That could happen. So 200. I assume they're going to take me out next turn. Nest Ball. I don't really want to Nest Ball anything, do I? All right, I'll keep the Nest Ball. I need an energy though. If I don't hit energy this turn, I'm taking a bit of a chance here. I mean, Arven's not terrible, right? I will do that. If I hit Iono or something, I don't know that I... All right, got double turbo. Well, that's really good. That's very nice. So, and I can evolve here. Do I need the tool? No, I don't. Well, let me think. No, I don't think I need the tool, right? So I'm gonna ditch the Arven. I'm gonna judge this turn. I'm gonna evolve into my Giratina V-Star and judge. Just see some more cards. You know, just keep building. You know, boss would be good as well. I could Lost Vacuum. Do I want to Lost Vacuum something here? I mean, Lost Vacuum, I could take out the... I could gust up the Mew for game next turn, right? Potentially. So I'm going to make that play. I'm going to Bidoof. I'm going to get rid of the Bravery Charm. Gives me potentially game with an energy, right? Because he's at 180 HP then. And that's what my Arceus V-Star does with an energy and such. So I will attack. I'm going to get rid of energy off the Giratina V-Star. So he cannot attack next turn. Right, I just assume, you know, if they gust up my Arceus and were to take him out, it's awkward. But the assumption is the Giratina V-Star is going down this turn. I have boss, so I'm actually looking at potentially game next turn now, right? If they don't attach another Bravery Charm, which they might, that's the only one they played thus far. So we'll see what happens. Oh no, there's 2 in the Lost Zone. That's right, they lost on their own, which still, I still don't understand that play, right? I mean, I make mistakes too. I'm guessing it was a misplay. Might have, I'm a guess, misclick, or they, like I said, I think maybe for some reason they thought I had a tool they wanted to get rid of, and then realized their mistake, but it was too late. So at this point, sorry. So I mean, Arven, but I need the energy, right? I mean, Arven would get me the tool. I mean, I could do that, and so if they get an energy attached, they get 3 prizes. It doesn't look. I need to win this next. If they get 3 prizes, I need to win this next turn. That's what needs to happen. Period. What gives me the best odds? I can send up the I sent up the Arceus. I could boss, and then I need to hit an energy. Although if it's a double turbo, it doesn't work for me, right? I could Arven, and I get the tool, right? And that does, see, 180. It's tricky. Either way, I can't attach a double turbo. I need an energy is what needs to happen. I need an energy. So, you know what? I have free retreat, so I'm going to set up Skwovet. I mean, I have free retreat on a basic, on the Skwovet, that is. So, so how do I want to work this? Oh, I have energy. Okay, well, I have what I need now, right? So I retreat. I'm doing 180, so now I just boss up the Mew, and I have game. So worked, so the plan came together there. So, yeah, very good. So, and I don't need to put any energy in play, which I would have accelerated the Giratina if the game was going on. So if the game didn't end, I would still, if it was mid-game, it would have worked out very nicely as well. So there we go. So look, Arceus Giratina, it's always been a good deck. So just wrapping up on this deck, I think it's pretty good. Well, it is good. It worked well. The Giratina Arceus has always been good. The Iron Leaves came through. That's not a shocker with Charizard around. The Relicanth, I didn't actually get any value out of it in the games I recorded here, but there was a game where I was hoping I might want it, and it was prized. I had to kind of change my game plan. I just had to take that into account. There was a game, so I could have wanted it that game. I managed to work around it, so very good there. The 2 Arven, is that better? I like the Arven. I don't think the deck, the one game Lost City would have been good, but I don't think it would have been good enough. Pokemon League Headquarters could be the way to go, because certainly in that basic attacking decks, Pokemon League Headquarters has value as well. So, but I think avoiding the stadiums altogether, tossing an Arven, I think makes the deck a little more consistent, which is how I prefer it, and I like that build. But you can put in one of those stadiums, Lost City or Pokemon League Headquarters, if you want to. Anyway, play some Pokemon, have fun, and take care.